Can you ask what was the discussion? What were some of the hot topics for you guys specific for the last couple of days? Transfer portal obviously is one of those, I'm sure.
Yeah, transfer portal, CFP, just the overall state of college athletics and the direction, I think the majority of people wanted to go.
There's a lot of discussion about the having the multiple portal window and maybe settling on one window instead of two. For the coaches, what were those discussions like? What do you favor in terms of when it comes to a portal window?
As coaches, we unanimously support one portal window, and that is in January. That's what we'd like.
Why January?
We just feel it's again, we know it's a tough thing with calendars right now and where it goes, and a chance to get your team settled. You're signing most of your guys in December. You're going to know what your roster will be like to start the second semester, and you have the opportunity to work and develop and build those relationships, evaluate your team, and get it ready for the next season.
Kenny, in terms of the CFP, obviously they've already announced they're just going to go to this straight seeding, which would have affected you all this season. So I'm wondering, A, how you feel about that change, and then B, your thoughts on the 5+11, which conference seems to support.
Yeah, I think it was a great change. I mean, even though it would have negatively affected us last year, I mean, we lost 2 games going into it, so I think that would have been the right thing to do. I'm about, you should get what you've earned the right that season. And last season, maybe we didn't earn the right to be the 4th seed. Maybe we earned the right to be the 8th seed. I don't know. We finished 9th, 12th, whatever that was. I believe you earn your way to those seats. So I'm also in support of the 5-11 for that same thought process. Is every year is a new year. You never know who's going to be good in college football. Especially with the volatility with the portal. So anything that creates an open platform for teams like our guys last year to prove that they do belong, I'm in support of.
And Lance, what are your thoughts on the 5-11 proposal?
Yeah, again, to kind of reinforce what Kenny said, we're as a conference and personally being through it as a Division III coach, again, each and every year should be a unique opportunity of its own. You earn your right on the field. Again, there will be a lot of debate based on amount of conference games. We need more uniformity across the board in conference games played, things like that. But we continue to work towards those things. But again, the best teams will have that opportunity to be there. We support that, and I think Kenny's team last year was a great sign of that, of where it made people think you might be, but where you really play yourself to be is something entirely different. I think in this new world that we're dealing with, you'll see more teams like this that you may not know of, but play so well during the year and earn their way through that and earn that opportunity.
When there are 2 conferences like the Big Ten and the SEC that are seemingly in charge of what the format's going to look like, what kind of insight did your commissioner give you in terms of his approach and his strategy to get the 5+12 model across? I know it's been presented, I know it's been discussed. Did he give you guys any insight on maybe how that one could potentially get all of the?
No, I think it was more just about, the fact that we just want competitiveness. We want the fact that you play the games every year, and who knows who the best teams are going to be every year, and you never know. So I think that was more of the conversation was, automatic qualifiers versus do we just want to see who the best teams are and put the best teams in every year? And I think, our coaches in our league, our ADs wanted just the best teams. Whoever those best teams are in college football that year, let's have those best teams go and compete for a championship.
And you just played in a 12-team playoff, and now there's discussion of expanding it to 14 or 16. From a coach's perspective, having done it the first time and with 12, do you like this idea that now, after only a couple of years, it's going to expand to 14 or 16?
Yeah, to me, I mean, I really don't care. I think at the end of the day, it's football. Football's fun. And sometimes we lose focus, and everybody focuses on the negative of college football and the negative of what all these things create. And they don't focus on the positive. They don't focus on the fact that that experience our guys went through was one of the best experiences they'll ever have in their life. And it's just something they'll remember forever. I think sometimes the we focus on the wrong things, not the positive of college athletics. And there's so much positive out there still that hopefully we get to a point where people are focusing on, man, our guys got to be a part of that. If we add teams, it's an opportunity for those guys to be a part of something that they'll remember forever. And I know it's coming, it's coming that we're going to get back to the positive light about this sport. And I'm excited for it.
Speaking of that, when you do have a team that did make it to the playoff, maybe unexpectedly, as Lance said, what is the approach now this offseason with a veteran group that you have coming back that people are going to be expecting more out of?
Yeah, I mean, sailboat doesn't sail in yesterday's wind. So, I mean, you can be as good as you want. Last year, nobody cares. Like, we were picked dead last year and we won it. So who cares where we're picked this year? We could finish dead last. This league is so competitive. It's filled. I mean, I was just sitting in our coaches' meeting rooms, and you look around the room. I mean, how many guys in our league have won a national championship? It's unbelievable at their level. I mean, you look at the guy sitting to my right. You look at the guy who sat to my right. I mean, it was like left and right. And then you look across and it's like Rich Rodriguez. Oh, that's a guy who could go into the Hall of Fame. Like he changed the entire game of how people play offensive football for an era. So our league is so competitive because I think the coaches in the league are phenomenal. I think we have one of the best coached leagues out there. And I think, I'm the young guy of the group, but we have so much veteran leadership in that group that, just going versus them and listening to them talk in those meetings, it's a special thing to be a part of.
Guys, Robert Allen from the Oklahoma State Network. I've got one question for both and one just for Coach Dillingham. How much football did you actually get to do this spring? Do you feel like, to yourselves, I got to do a lot of football in practice today versus handling everything else? And then Coach Dillingham, what you did last year in the portal era is crazy. As many new kids as you had, did you do anything differently in the summer and in fall camp to make that group a team?
I guess I'll answer the first one. I was very pleased with the amount of football that I was able to be involved in and what we're doing. We also brought a fair amount of transfers in at semester after losing 39 seniors. So we had a lot of transition, acclimatization of new players, but I thought it went extremely well. Very appreciative of our staff, our support staff that kind of helped navigate some of the waters in today's football.
Yeah, I would agree. I was obviously pleased with the amount of football. I mean, at the end of the day, you can talk about all the stuff that's happening in college athletics, but the most important thing is the players on your team. And it always will be, regardless of who's on it or who's not, or how much they change. Your current players will always be priority A, B, C, and D, in my opinion, not the guys that you're hoping to get. And in terms of what we did last year different, I don't know if we did anything different. I think we got the right guys. We got guys that were hungry, they liked each other. They were friends. And the power of people is powerful and the power of connection is real. And I think our guys just really grew together. I don't think it was anything I did or our staff did. It's a credit to our players and the work that they put in, which is why they had the success that they have.
Got a question on Zoom from Henry Greenstein. Henry, go ahead.
Yeah, Lance, after having had to let so many of your walk-ons go over the course of the offseason, what was your reaction to then having it looks like a grandfather kind of thing is going to happen with the eventual settlement decision?
Yeah, as we still wait for that settlement to be signed and decided, it's mixed feelings, Henry, because you feel bad about guys who wanted to stay at the University of Kansas and get their degree and be part of our program. But bittersweet and really some guys have gotten some really nice opportunities. And at the end of the day, I feel, just like kind of to the past questions, guys still love to play football and we like being out on the field with them. And when a walk-on maybe decides to, now that the roster spot might have been in jeopardy, he has a chance to go somewhere where you may see more real playing time in games. You got to be happy for him. I guess, we all wish there had been a little more clarity sooner, but just like everything else, I think we're dealing with we just want clarity and really how are we gonna operate? And I think we'll all find a way to make it beneficial for all.
Ben Hutchins on Zoom. We've got a question from him. Ben, go ahead.
Yeah, I have a two-part question for Scott. I'm wondering what makes the Farmageddon rivalry something you want to bring to Ireland? And is this kind of part of a larger Big 12 push to bring the brand internationally?
Yeah, thanks for that question. I think the Iowa State, Kent State game certainly is a premier game within the league, and those two institutions really wanted to take that international as a league. We are absolutely supportive of that as a strategy. You've heard Brett say that a number of times. Not only are we excited about being in Ireland this year, but we're going to in Ireland next year with TCU and North Carolina. We've got some games in other events international as well. So it's part of a broader strategy for the Big 12, and we're happy to support that.
Last question from Zoom is from Michelle Gardner. Michelle, go ahead.
Hi, coaches. Thanks. Kenny, can you kind of talk about how last year, basically everybody wanted to talk to you about what's it like being picked last, and now you're the toast of the town. You're the poster child for underachievers, national attention everywhere. And how much more fun is it to be going through this now?
Oh, it's actually less fun. To be honest, I mean, it's fun being, it's naturally motivating for people to say you suck. And, it's way more difficult to people to say you're good. And I'm not one who actually likes the limelight or people telling me I'm good anyway. So to me, it's more uncomfortable. I'd much rather be an underdog, much rather be somebody people count out. So I'd say this is definitely uncomfortable to always get, positive praise. I would prefer it to all be about the players. And then for me to just try to navigate our players and make sure they stay focused on them trying to be the best version of themselves.
Okay, any more in-person questions? Everyone good? Coach, thank you. Scott, thank you. Appreciate y'all's time.